weil unser Kleiner nicht schlafen wollte. Ja. Ja.
Ja.
Van welke krant bent u, meneer? Ah, van de correspondent. Oké.
Bist du fertig?
Ja.
Ja?
Ja.
Sicher?
Ja.
Okay.
Ja.
How would you describe the personality and activities of Thomas Rau? Ja, leg mal los.
Is die Kamera gut, meinst du? How would I describe the personality of Thomas Rau?
And activities.
Okay, let's start with the personality. I think Thomas Rau, he's someone who wants to do what is necessary and not what is possible. He's never satisfied if he reaches something which is possible. He's always fighting for what is necessary. And about his activities, he tried to, I think the first agenda point of Thomas Rau is he wants to change the world. And to change the world, I think we have to change not only the architecture of the building environment, but we have to change the architecture of the whole system. And that's what he's working on that kind of architecture.
So, how would you describe your profession?
My profession? Yeah, I mean, if you would ask me 20 years ago, it was very clear I was an architect. And everybody would know what does it mean to be an architect. But now it's 2016, and what you see, what is a profession? But still, I think I'm an architect. And I'm an architect for the building environment. I think the traditional part of architecture. But I think I'm also an architect of the architecture of the new economy. Because I think we have to rethink our relation between the humans and the planet Earth. And to build a new relation, we need a new kind of architecture, and that's what we're working on.
Okay. What have you studied?
What have I studied? I mean, in fact, I studied in the social sector. So I took care for kids without parents, or parents which were in the prostitution or alcohol or whatever. So I thought my future would be the social sector, but then I changed to architecture, because I said, okay, I really want to have more impact, and so in which sector I can have real impact. I thought that's architecture. So I started architecture, but then I said, oh yeah, after 2 years, I said, oh yeah, this is not really what I want. So I studied also musician and dance and painting and architecture and theater, because I was searching for a kind of studium generale. So because I couldn't find it anywhere, so I was organizing it for myself. So I was studying on the Technical University in Aachen. I was studying architecture, and I was studying also under an artistical school in Bonn for the artistical part of it. And I think this combination for me was very relevant, and I'm still very happy that I have done that.
So, what is then the relation with your profession and your studies, what you're doing now?
On one hand, you could say there's no relation at all, but on the other hand, I think that I developed different kind of skills through my studies, which I can use now in my new profession as an architect of the new economy. So in fact, the study, I think, is just to develop your skills. I mean, if someone in my office, if there is someone's coming from the university and he wants to make my office, then I say, okay, first, forget everything you learned on university. You don't need that here. So, and you know nothing. So let's start again. Because I think mostly on the university it's completely abstract what the students are learning, and to learn the real profession, they need to practice.
So what do you think then is smart to study? What is necessary to study?
What I think,
What is necessary or smart to study?
I think that nowadays the young people they step in much too quick in a special direction of a profession. I think that you should use your time, look around, go around the world, try different kind of things, and try to develop skills very bright, so that you know everything about art, about musician, about theater, about technique, about architecture, because the answers we are searching for, especially now, I mean, in the 21st century, are so bright and they are so multidimensional that every one-dimensional answer is a much too short answer of the complex problem. So be bright, be at home in all the different kind of sectors, so that you are able to develop a multi-dimensional answers on the questions.
Okay. And when did you go from from a normal architect to a sustainable architect? Or when did you change your mind?
I never changed my mind. I mean, I was when I started architecture, and I started my own architecture office in 1992 in Amsterdam. Then I said, okay, guys, you know what? I have a big handicap, and my handicap is the only way I can look at architecture is in a sustainable way. So if you want to have a sustainable architecture, be my guest. If you think it's nonsense, just go to my colleague. So I never made the switch from a non-sustainable to a sustainable architecture, but I made the switch from the sustainable architecture to a kind of a circular architecture. Because I thought, okay, the sustainable way, this is the way we have to develop ourselves, and I did this for nearly 20 years. But then I realized that sustainability is optimizing what we have. Sustainability is not changing anything. Sustainability is not transforming the system. So it was more, okay, the system we have is good and let's optimize it. But I think that we have to change our relation Gesundheit.
Thanks, sir.
That we have to change our relation to everything what makes life possible.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, sustainability is not, how can you say, it's not bright enough, it's not smart enough, whatever. Because if you optimize something, you don't transform it. And mostly in architecture, what I figure out that mostly I get a wrong answer, a wrong question from the client. Then I try to find the very best answer, and the very best answer on the wrong question is still a wrong answer. So I thought about, so how can we generate the right answers? Mm-hmm. And that means, how can we produce the right questions? So that's why I started together with my wife another architecture office, and we call it Turn 2. And Turn 2 is about the architecture of a new economical system. And now we call it circularity, because circularity is facilitating everything we're doing. It's not optimizing. So, and in fact, I think sustainability is just one level of at least 3 levels we have to act if we want to arrange creation here on planet Earth.
But what was then your first sustainable moment in your life?
My first sustainable moment.
Or when did you was there an event that changed?
I mean, I think I had three. When I was a young boy, I was 10 years old. I had a quite tough accident because it was kind of barbecue and it was not really warm. So I said, okay, and we were hungry and we want to eat, and there was no real fire. So I put the jerry can. I said, okay, let's put some petrol on the fire, so that works. So I put the petrol on the fire, but I didn't realize that the fire was quicker in the jerry can than the petrol was on the fire. So I had the jerry can in my hands, and suddenly it was a big explosion, and the whole jerry can was exploding. And I put all the petrol on my legs from here on. So I was completely burned, and I had a very tough time. I was for months in my room was completely dark, and the curtains were closed, and I had to drink a lot, and I had unbelievable pain, because you have to imagine that then your body is open. I mean, you don't have skin anymore, so it's just the meat. So you really see and even you smell the meat. And as a young boy,